Hello everybody, and welcome to Wounded Healer Tarot. My name is James, and I'll be doing a reading today. This particular reading is for the sign of Cancer. Happy birthday, Cancer. Now, I'm going to get two oracle cards here for the energies that are currently influencing you, and then after that I will do my general 9-card tarot spread. Alright, so let's see. What energies are currently influencing Cancer? Now here we have the library representing knowledge, resources, and history. So there could be a need here for you to maybe look into your ancestry. You know, maybe there's some hidden knowledge there as far as like your path, maybe what it is you're supposed to be doing here with your life. And that will help you, really figure out what resources you require in order to move forward here. When cards flip like that while I'm shuffling, I take those as like a little side message from the universe. Alright, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so first up here we have the reader. Interpretation, choice, and agency. Oh, these both came out together. Huh. We have both the reader and the author. The author representing spirituality, devotion, and higher powers. And I feel like this is quite synchronistic in a sense here. You know, to have both the reader and the author. You could be somebody who writes. You can be possibly even, telling your story in a sense. Now, that is obviously not going to be for everybody because this is a general message here, but now I'm going to read from the book for each of these cards. If you've been to my channel before, you've seen any of my previous videos, you can probably tell that the background, the environment, everything here in this video is a little different. I'm trying to experiment, maybe find something that works better than the previous setting I had. Let's see, the reader. This book doesn't have any like page numbers or anything. There's no like little glossary area type of thing. So I apologize if this takes a while to get through. If it takes too long, when I edit the video, I will speed this up a bit. Alright, so the reader awakened represents interpretation, choice, and agency. And its shadow aspect, it represents misinterpretation, disbelief, and influence. Now the description of the card reads, the reader represents our individual right to interpret the world and its events based on our values, beliefs, and experiences. Everyone's perceptions are different, and so we each experience and understand situations differently. Intent is important, but it's the results of someone's actions that ultimately matter most. To an extent, we all have a choice in how we interpret and react to things. Whether an experience is good or bad, we have some agency to decide how we want that experience to inform our thoughts and actions going forward. The shadow reader may have an interpretation of the situation that's misinformed or entirely wrong. We do have the right to see things our own way, but that doesn't mean we're always right. The shadow reader may also be intent on convincing others to see things their way, for better or worse. It's often good to question why we need an audience to agree with us. Alternately, the shadow reader may be someone who simply refuses to make a choice or have an opinion on something. They either don't care or passively go with the majority. The questions to ask: What is my interpretation of this situation or story? How is my point of view important and valid? Do I have a choice to make? What is informing my choices? How can I exert my own agency over the situation? Is my interpretation off base or misinformed? Am I just not interested in the situation at hand? Am I trying to convince others to agree with my views? To what end? Alright, so, sorry about that. The lighting was bothering me. I just wanted to fix it really quick. Alright, now to get to the author. In its awakened position represents spirituality, devotion, and higher powers. In its shadow aspect, it represents cults, broken oaths, and authoritarianism. The description of the card reads, the author represents any higher powers or spiritual forces you believe are guiding your story, such as deities, ancestors, spirits, or your own higher self. This card asks you to consider your faith in the unknown and any practices or communities you have around it. This may be a sign to renew those practices. There could be a deep beauty in the exploration of the mystic. This card can also represent members of the clergy and other spiritual leaders. In shadow aspect, we find the author representing the negative sides to spirituality. The shadow author may be a cult leader or manipulative priest. Here we find spirituality and religion being used to control and frighten people rather than connect them to loving powers larger than themselves. This card in shadow can also represent breaking away from religion or spirituality in general, and possibly the breaking of oaths we swore or commitments we made in the process. Questions to ask. What does my spiritual practice look like? What higher powers or forces may be guiding me? Is there a spiritual person / leader in my story this represents? What am I devoted to and why? Are my spiritual leaders trustworthy? Do I need to break with unhealthy commitments and practices that no longer suit me? Alrighty then. Now, with both of these cards in their awakened position, I want to say that you could really be like, either you're somebody who is newly finding interest in spirituality at this time, and it's something that, it's a choice you're making, right? You have a certain interpretation here of what it is, what it could be, and with the library flipping out while I was shuffling, that could very well have something to do with what sparked this interest, this curiosity towards spirituality. Maybe you have like your ancestors or people in the past in your genetic line that were really, that were into spirituality or occultism in general. And through that research into your lineage, you start to learn more about what it is they were into and their practices, and that could influence you to really, pick up those same practices, but maybe put your own little touch on them. But with these cards in the shadow aspect, you could really sort of be drawn away from whatever it is your ancestors or whoever in the past have practiced, because maybe you could be misinterpreting the information that you're finding. It could make it seem more like a cult, and that would leave you to that would lead you to not believe in what they were doing. Alright, now let's get to the tarot portion here. Ooh. And at the bottom of the deck here, I almost forgot to look at the bottom of the deck. That's horrible. But we have the song representing heart, harmony, and messages. So, I'm definitely getting the vibe that these could be more so in their awakened aspect, because here, I feel like you're really connecting with yourself, right? And you're picking up the messages here, and right under that is library, the card that flipped out while I was shuffling. So, I'm definitely getting the vibe that you're really connecting with the more awakened aspect here. And like you're getting a lot of messages from this like research that you're doing. The more you look into like your ancestors and your past lineage. Excuse me. All right, now for the tarot portion, we're just going to take a look at what you need to know at this time. All right, what does Cancer need to know at this time? 1, 2, 3. All right. 1, 2, 3. Jesus. So I'm just going to take this because it flipped right off the deck. We got the World. Which is interesting because before I even started this reading, before I even shuffled the deck, since this is a new setting and everything, a new setup, I decided to pick a card off the top of the deck just to test the lighting, see how well, where is the card going to look the best, most vibrant, and the World was at the top of the deck. So you're definitely going through some sort of like change here. You're closing out an old cycle and beginning something new. Oof, and at the bottom of the deck here, we have the Devil. So this could speak to, a letting go of toxic people, toxic habits, situations, places, all sorts of things like that. Well, this is definitely looking good for you. All right, let's see. Yeah, I see a lot about letting go here. A letting go of old ways. Because here at the bottom of the deck, we have the Four of Pentacles with the, whoops, I was at the top. We have the Four of Pentacles, the Ten of Wands, the King of Swords, and then after that we have the Devil. So, this to me represents, with the Four of Pentacles, there were maybe some old mindsets, some really like some beliefs from your parents, the way that you were raised, the environment that you grew up in, the people you even grew up around. It doesn't even have to be parents because not all of us were raised by our parents. But, there are a lot of toxic things that you are holding on to here. And with the Ten of Wands, right, this is not your usual Ten of Wands. Okay, this guy, he looks like he's gotten a lot out of that harvest. And he looks like, this ain't no thing. This isn't any trouble. I'm not stressed. There aren't any burdens. Like, this is actually going very well. Like, homeboy has almost a smile on his face. He's just, like, feeling very light. And I feel like, that's representing you, like, putting all the bullshit down. You're getting rid of those old ways of thinking, right? And with this King of Swords, I feel like this is you setting boundaries with people. This is you letting people who've been around this whole time that know that I'm not dealing with that same shit anymore. I'm not going to be going blindly into any situations. Like, you're not going to take advantage of me. I am going to do what is best for me. You're no longer taking on other people's, bullshit. You're not taking on other people's responsibilities. This is going to be a time of doing for you, essentially. All right, so yeah, you saw first up we had that world card, and then we have the Page of Wands with the Nine of Wands. So, here, this to me is speaking of, that changing of cycles, right? You're letting go of a very people-pleasing sort of energy, and you're walking into a time of more, I don't know if I would say independence, but it's like you're going to be doing things for you. You're not constantly going to be doing things for other people. This is going to be all about you. Okay? And in a healthy sense, not in that like toxic, like, screw everybody. I'm just doing it for me. That's it. That's all. Like, this is because you've done so much for other people that you're starting to realize like that was draining you. Like that Ten of Wands, like you're not doing that anymore. You're not letting other people, take your time, take your energy, and you're going to use that energy that you used to put into other people to put into yourself. And that's going to give you the energy that's going to make you feel so much more positive. You're going to feel so much lighter once you start filling your own cup. And so this page of, I almost said Page of Pentacles, geez. This Page of Wands to me is really speaking to, a starting of that new journey for yourself. You're going off on this new exciting adventure. And with, it being the Page of Wands, I definitely get you being like excited. You can have like this new lust for life. You have this new positive attitude moving forward. And with the Nine of Wands, okay, this could be a little difficult for you. You could have a lot of trauma that you're working through here. For a good majority of your life, you were probably made to feel like, your entire purpose is to serve others. When, first off, fuck that, that's bullshit. Really? Alright, BRB. God damn it. Sorry about that. The dogs were going off even though there was nobody over there. Alright, so as I was saying here, right? With this Nine of Wands, you're definitely, I get the vibe of you being made to feel like, for a good majority of your life, your entire purpose is to just, take care of others, satisfy others. And that, you could have been taught as a child like that, you will find happiness and satisfaction through providing others with happiness and satisfaction or something along those lines. But here with this Nine of Wands, I'm getting that this may be a bit triggering, this may be a little bit difficult to like, even though you are excited and you're having this change of mindset, you still have healing to do, and this is a part of it. And with the Nine of Wands, you're being asked to really keep going, right? The Nine of Wands tells me like you are determined, you do really want this. It's just a little difficult, and you could very well be being triggered by like moving out of this energy that you've essentially spent like a good majority of your life in. But next up here we have the Knight of Swords, the Emperor, hell yeah, and then we have the Eight of Cups. So with this, okay, I feel like this Knight of Swords here is you really like getting the message and moving forward, right, with the quickness. Like once you have that realization here and you move past that like sort of like Nine of Wands energy here, like there's going to be a lot of momentum here with the Knight of Swords. Now this could even represent, messages coming in of any kind. Maybe you're in a place where like you're no longer doing for others, so when you're doing what you want to do, maybe that means like a change of job, a change of location. So this Knight of Swords to me really speaks to of, getting a message, right? Receiving a message that you've been waiting for a response to. So, and then with the Emperor and the Eight of Cups, like with the Emperor, you're really empowered. You're like in your most powerful version of yourself. You're in the most authentic energy. You're 110% you, and you don't care what other people think. You could even be in a like powerful position or on your way to one here with that Knight of Swords and this Eight of Cups, walking away from old ways, right? Walking away from your old life. Now, with that, okay, you could either A, own your own business, or you could have a very powerful, very like high up the ladder type of spot. If you don't have your own business and you work for like a company or somebody else, you could be getting, this Knight of Swords to the Emperor, you could be getting a message about a promotion possibly. So then with this Eight of Cups, right, you'd be walking away from your old position, what you used to do, into this new position, into this new status, this new life. This is beautiful. And I mean, it's your birthday month, Cancer, so... Or well, it's the second half of your birthday month, I think. Something like that, okay? Alright, so next up here we have this Ten of Swords, hell yeah. And then we have this Page of Swords with the Eight of Wands. Alright. So this Ten of Swords here, as I was saying, right, this being after that Eight of Cups, by walking away from the stuff that does not serve you, right, by starting this new adventure here, you're walking away from situations, people, places that have brought you like a sort of betrayal, that have given you a feeling of, being stabbed in the back, lied to, like somehow, some way betrayed. Okay. And then with this Page of Swords and this Eight of Wands, I get that there could possibly be somebody watching you, or you could possibly be watching somebody. Either that, or you're maybe, keeping an eye out for an opening in a particular position at a particular job. And once you see that opening with the Eight of Wands, you're going to be right on that. And that's going to like open the floodgates of abundance for you, essentially. Now, if this has to do with like maybe watching a person, I feel like with the Page of Swords and the Eight of Wands, you could be waiting for a particular time. You could be, watching this person's social media. So to me, that really tells me that you guys haven't spoken for a while. And then we also have the world out here, which, can represent the World Wide Web, the internet. And the Page of Swords generally represents, watching somebody, or that you yourself are being watched. So I definitely get that, you could be keeping an eye out on someone's social media and waiting for the right time to make a move, to start a conversation, to reopen lines of communication. Alright, Cancer, these are the messages that I have for you today, and I do hope they serve you well. Be gentle with yourselves. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye now.